Okay, welcome back, Mark's Garage channel. Got the freshly painted backing plate. I was just trying to put the cylinder back on. I had it almost done on video, and I realized that I had it on the wrong side. I was trying to put it onto the back of the device, or the back of the plate. But I was saying, I was just watching Tartaglia's Rod Shop is a video YouTube channel. Rick lives not too far from here, and I know him. But he's a real mechanic who knows what he's doing, and he's fun to watch. But he's got a project going now. Where he started, I started watching the video. He's got a golf cart. He's putting a snowplow on it, and it reminds me that I have a golf cart in my backyard under the tent that my son and his friend Andrew built that has a Honda 250cc motor in it from a quad. Actually has the whole rear suspension from the quad, and that would make a heck of a plow truck or a plow golf cart. So at 16 years old, they built that. Maybe they're 17, I don't know, maybe even 18, but they put that together and drove all over the neighborhood with it, but never really did anything else with it. I told them, put a custom paint job on it and whatnot. I gotta go get a ratchet to tighten that up, and then we're gonna put the brake pads on. Stand by. All right, back to this. So we'll tighten this up. I don't know that there's a torque spec on here, but I'm gonna make it nice and tight. Might notice that there's a piece of wire holding the cylinder together. I gotta get the hardware for the brakes. I got it all right here. This is all the hardware. Got 2 long bolts with castle nuts and 2 short bolts with regular nuts. Everything's got lock washers. And of course there's 4 spacers. So right now I need the 4 spacers to sit right here on the plate. Three. 4. Wipe my hands clean. And then this assembly goes right on top. Like that. And those go there. And as soon as I get this bolt through the holes, I'm going to cut the whatchamacallit away. The retainer wire. So 1 bolt through the spacer. That's the short bolts go on top. Long bolts go on the bottom, and they go through, and they'll bolt up with the steering mechanism. So that'll go through there. That goes through there. And then the spring. Where did I put the spring? It's around here somewhere. There it is. Spring. This might be a little tricky, because it goes through this retainer. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to tip this up. Wipe my hands. I got to get the spring through that retainer and then hook here and there. Oh yeah, that's going. There we go. But you need a vice grip to kind of pull it. Got the one in. Alright, I remember how to do it now. I got this hooked here, put it into the hole. Of course I unhooked on the other side, so I gotta reset it. This side set first. This goes into the hole I'm trying to put it into. There we go. I'll take the vice grips off. And there it is, ready to go. Just got to grab the cutters and get rid of that wire, because now the brakes are being held into the, it's all being compressed together. So I got a wire cutter around here somewhere. Now I can mount this back plate onto the spindle, which is right over there. So I'm going to get set up for that. Alright, I hope you guys got enough light to see. So I want to now put the back plate back on here and then connect the brake line back over there. So let me see if I can reach everything from where I'm sitting. I'm sitting on a little work stool. So I got the 4 screws sticking out of the back of the backing plate. I'm going to slide it over the spindle. Top 2 screws line right up. They should line up. Huh. Yeah, they do. I just can't see that well, as I got the light turned the wrong way. And then I'm lifting the, actually I should move the camera so you can see what's going on behind here. Let me see if you can see that. Turn that down a little bit. I'll probably cut away some of that. I hope you're looking at the back of the plate. There's the screw sticking out. This is the steering arm thingy. And I've got to get those bolts to go through the 2 holes in that. And kind of lift it up. Is it lining up? Huh. Oh, I see. It was hung up on the shocks. Come on. Just gotta get the holes to line up. There's one. There's 2. And since they're not quite lined up perfectly, they don't just drop through. So you kind of got to shake it around, twist it a little bit. There's 1. And there's 2. And you want to make the holes look straight up and down, because I'm going to drop the cotter pins in from the top. So there's that. And then here's the hose. I'll turn this up a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. The hose goes in here. Retainer drops on top of that. And I got to connect the line, which was back there. I don't even see it. Where did it go? Huh. There was a hard line back there. It's not there anymore. I probably got to crawl under and find it. It runs through the frame. Huh. Well, I'm going to be doing some laying on my back, it looks like. So let me shut this off. Yeah, I crawled under there. I found the line. It was poking through. it comes from the front, hooks back, goes around the front cross member. Get my head under here now. And what I want to do is get this to connect to this line here. I don't know if you can see my hands in the way. But there's the double flare. There's the nut. And I just want to get this thread started. And the trick I figured out, learned the hard way, is you gotta not twist the hose, you gotta twist the fitting. I mean, you know, it's common sense, but I think I screwed it up on the other side. Oh, and that just popped through and I lost it. But I think now that I know where it is, I can reach under. No, I can't. There's a thing there. What did I just drop? Oh boy. Where is that? There's the frame. Oh, there's a plate here. Where is that thing? Looks like I gotta crawl on my back again and get that. So, which is right where the camera is. So, let me see if I reach it from here. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. Okay. There we go. Just want to get this started. Just a couple turns. There we go. Put that there. Find that retainer. That's what I need. That's what I probably heard drop. It's the retainer, which means it's got to be. Well, it took me almost 5 minutes, but I found the retainer. It was somehow in the middle of the, you know, under the truck, towards the middle. I don't know how it got that far back, but okay. But that goes right there. And just to see, I'm going to rotate the steering. You see the hose barely moves, which is what you want. Just a little bit of flex. And now what I'll do is hammer that back into place, tap it back into place, and then tighten up on the flare nut. So, where's my tapper? Nice. And now I'm going to tighten up that flare nut. Now you can kind of see what I see, I think, if that camera's in the right place. But I'm just, you know, tightening it. Quarter turn at a time is all I can get on it. But at least it's turning. And then I'll have to bleed these brakes again later. While I'm sitting here talking. So after all is said and done, I get this back together. Well, it's going to be a while because the bearings set has not shipped yet either. So that's probably not going to come for another week. The other side isn't going to be finished for a week because the cylinder's missing. But when all is said and done, this has got to go get an alignment. Let's see. So that's a flare nut wrench. And here's the other flare nut wrench, 5/8 on this side. Five-eighths on this side. Hold it steady. And then make it nice and tight. But you don't want that to leak. Good. So now what I'll do, I'm going to turn the camera a little bit more. And I'm hoping you can see that. See, I can't see what the screen sees. But there's the 4 nuts sticking out. Or 4 bolts sticking through. And I got to get the nuts on them. And that'll put the plate tight to the to the backing. And these are the original nuts with the original lock washers, which I cleaned up. Now, I was saying about the alignment. I'm tempted to take it back to the guys. You remember the story where I brought it to the guys who were who told me to take the whole axle out and bring it to them. They changed the kingpins. I'm tempted to bring it to them for the alignment, just so I can hear them with their Italian accents. Hey, you did it yourself. Hey, paisan. But I'd rather go to the guy around the corner because it's closer. But either way, it's not getting in alignment till the spring because I'm not going to drive this on the roads with all the salt on the roads for the winter. You know, it's January now. We've already had a couple storms. There's a lot of salt on the roads. So I got to wait till spring. There's a lot of rain. Wash all the salt off, road's dry, and then I like to drive on the, I'll go back on the road with this. I keep hitting that camera. Hope you can see this. I'm getting the last nut on, which is the castle nut on the bottom. It's behind the axle, so I'm sure you can't see it. But I gotta tighten all this stuff up and then drop a couple cotter pins in there. Well, here's an interesting development. I just came home from running errands. It's late afternoon now, and this was sitting on my doorstep. It's the new cylinder. New copper gasket comes with it. I'm going to replace this one, which is broken. You can see right there. The ear, I guess is what you would call that, of the casting where the screw goes, had broken off. So I got the old screw there. Still one screw left in it. I'm going to take the hose off, put the hose back onto the new one with the new copper gasket, and go install it on the passenger side. And then I'm kind of done with the basically the front end, the kingpin job. It should be done, except for mounting the new bearings in the drums. Now, if I want to finish up today, for example, I could put the old roller bearings back in, but I don't see a point. I might as well have waited. They're supposed to be in next week, I would think. But then again, that was supposed to come in next week, and here it is. So let me get started on this. Put it there. You know, I just recalled now. Maybe I could bleed the brakes today because my kid's going to be home soon. Put the copper gasket on. You get this little filler piece here. Protect it. Actually, I'll put that right back into here. If I want to get really crazy, I could send this thing back. And put that in. And these are those one-use crush gaskets. And tighten it up. Okay. And now I bring this over to the other side. I'll move the camera and see me install that on the back plate while the back plate's installed. Well, I hope you can see that okay. The lighting's not that good. I'm going to try to rotate this so you can see a little better. But I just noticed something. This tab right here, it's supposed to be bent in the opposite direction. See, it's bent down. Like the spring is supposed to be in here. No, the spring goes in here where it is. And this goes around it. So that might be a little something I might try to bend back later with a channel lock or something. In the meantime, this goes here. I gotta get the screws in, and then I get the shoes to sit on top of that, and I'll cut this away. So first things first. Well, the hose went in no problem. Got the retainer in, just like I did this morning. New cylinder installed, springs in. This bothers me. This should be bent around in like a retainer of that spring. Let me show you really quick on the other side what it's supposed to look like, and then I'll call it a day. You can see here on the passenger side, that's bent up and around, and it retains the spring from, I guess, flopping out if something were to happen. I don't know what its exact purpose is, but I'm going to leave it like it is now. I don't know why they would have bent it down and like they did. If I spotted it earlier, I probably would have fixed it while everything was off and just hammered it on the bench into the correct position. But that's a wrap for today. Hopefully the next video is me installing the new tapered bearings and races into the drum over there. There's the drum. Somewhere over there. There it is. One on the other side. And then I think what I want to try to tackle, I haven't mentioned it before, but the mechanism for the brake and the clutch lever have been, giving me a little trouble. I might take that out, and I think there's a bushing in there, and I think it needs to be replaced. So thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.